Replays for you. These are higher damage replays, yeah, a lot of these upcoming replays that I'm going to be showing you are months and months old, just because I haven't really had a whole lot of time to upload them until now. So over the next course of the summer, I've got about 5 videos planned, including this one, to come out. Yeah, like I said, they're going to be old replays, but they are good. Yeah, I thought I'd share them with you and see if you'd be interested in them. So, first we spawn on Safe Haven. We're playing the SU-152. Not a great tank, but it is one of my favorites to play. It's a fun tank. Unfortunately, it's not as good as it used to be, just because HE got nerfed and stuff, so you have to rely more on AP and stuff like that. Yeah, other than that, it's still fun to play. You can still, do damage in it, and that's what you're going to see here today. So, this tank, it used to be a lot, easier to play because people were such afraid of it because of its derp gun, and they would never poke you. But now people aren't really afraid of you that much, especially higher tiers, so they're gonna poke you and shoot you even if they take damage, of course. Yeah, so I've set up this tank for aiming and stuff like that to help improve the accuracy. I have a 4-skilled crew on this tank, and I also have improved aiming, which helps increase the accuracy. I have vents as well, which improves everything slightly. And then I have Rammer, of course, to help the DPM. Now with AP alone, I can get my DPM. Average DPM is around 3,000 damage. From what I remember, it's like 2,900 something. But yeah, it's still pretty good DPM wise for a tier 7 TD with the derp gun. It's still pretty good. But yeah, anyway, let's talk about this match. So I've gone here because everywhere else is kind of just sketchy to go. It's too in the open, and I didn't feel like being a camper in the back, or in the south, I'm sorry. So I decided, you know what? I want to be able to take the fight. I don't want to have the fight come to me. I want to go to them, but unfortunately, they're just going to come to me regardless. Now, I'm lucky to be alive here. I do have these a couple of allies here next to me, and then I've got some across further north as well, so every time the enemy tries to come at me, they just get ripped apart, as you saw there, which is what happened with the AE Phase 1. So yeah, currently south is looking okay, north is kind of pushing a little bit, so things aren't looking too bad right now. The reason I have a lot of AP rounds is because you don't need gold that much, even though the gold pen's really nice though. It's like 250 millimeters, which is really, really nice. That's like base average pen for a tier 10 heavy, so the penetration on the gold rounds is really nice. And also I use AP to blind fire because I want to save HE for better opportunities if I can get them. And also, I don't want to put too many gold rounds either because it can get expensive after firing so many rounds. So yeah, we're lucky to be alive right now. We've still got a lot of damage yet that we're going to do. We're only up to 1,800 right now. And yeah, we're going to pump up to quite a bit for a tier 9 match at least. So yeah, I don't really have a crossfire going in right now, at least for me. The people who were 7 line kind of left, so I'm kind of on my own right now. I'm hoping that they will push kind of south and box in that IS-4 like they are. The Amel misses a shot miserably, and then he's gonna thankfully only track me. I'm very fortunate that he didn't penetrate me and stuff like that, so I got very fortunate there. So now I know he's on a massive reload, so I'm just gonna wait for him to see if he makes another mistake, and he's not gonna, so I might as well just rush him while I can. And we are going to finish him off for our next kill. So far things are going pretty smoothly. We've managed to win north, south has managed to holding, and this is pretty much a win in our favor. So I do get a nice little lucky snapshot here in a second. on this KV3. Very lucky that it hit, and a lovely high roll as well for just over 800. I believe the average actually is 700 instead of the normal 750 like it is for most derps. But yeah, like I said, base DPM is 3,000 with this if you penetrate every single shot. But if you use HE and you pen every single HE shot, you can bring that DPM like up to 4,000, maybe even more. But yeah, it's insane. So personally, I like the derp gun better on this tank because the DPM gun is good if you constantly have shots and you're not getting shot at. But as far as in general, like, I feel like this gun is way better because you can trade a lot easier with it. Like, for example, if I want to trade, I just shoot, 700, 800 into a guy, and then they shoot me for 300, whatever it is. Versus to where if I'm playing aggressively like I am now, if I'm playing the DPM gun, that means I have to poke more, and that means I have to risk more, and I can end up, dying faster or losing unnecessary HP. So trading wise and just in general, I feel like this gun's better. And like I said, I have pretty much 3,000 DPM in this gun as it is with a derp gun, which is pretty good for a tier 7 tank destroyer. Just good in general for tier 7. So yeah, we are gonna get, I think, one more shot in or something like that. I do have a 13.9 second reload. I don't know if it's what it is in this match. I think it was like 14.1 last time. So I'm going to take my time to aim here. Unfortunately, I can't get my gun down because I didn't want to get spotted. Unfortunately, I do. So kind of a mistake on my part. I should have just kept going. But we are going to get one last shot into him here pretty quickly. So I'm just letting him farm our Jetto 66, I'm sorry. And we do end up getting, unfortunately, it was a low roll, 593, but nevertheless, still a well-fought battle, and I'm happy to see the way that one went. So next up, we're going to be watching a match that I had in the T110E5. It's my highest damage in a heavy tank, and by far, I can tell you that this is my favorite American heavy tank in the game, just because it has everything. Its DPM is insane. I don't know what the reload is in this match, but I know that currently my reload's like 6.9 or something like that, so DPM is insane on this tank. It's like 3.5, 3.6 or something like that, average DPG, or I'm sorry, DPM. Anyway, so this map I really like for heavies because where I'm going, you can pretty much just play anywhere. Now, if I was in something like, I don't know, a E100, for example, or a Mouse or a Type 5 Heavy, which I would probably never play, I would go 4-line to where our T57 is kind of going. But other than that, other tanks like 277s, T30s, etc., I like to go here because you can pretty much just shoot everywhere and anywhere you want on this map as long as you don't over-peak. So, yeah, they do have a 3-mark T30 on the enemy team, I just noticed that. But yeah, so far, this has gone pretty well. I had a friend showed me this position, and ever since then, it's really nice. It is kind of a pain to play, at least it can be sometimes, but other than that, it's an amazing position. You can shoot to the left, you can shoot forward if you have to, you can shoot to the right, and it's just a great position to be able to help take control of the map. Yeah, this map in general I don't mind, actually. Like, I actually kind of enjoy playing this map, to be completely honest. Sometimes I go beach, but it's very rare because I want to have more control over what's going on and be able to get more damage if possible. Unless if I have no choice and I have to go to the beach, then I will. But usually I like to stay here on the middle and on the left flank on the east side of the map to try to get damage. So yeah, so far we're just farming damage. We're up to 1,600 already, exactly 1,600 as a matter of fact. Beach is kind of just sitting and waiting. Center's doing the same thing. Left flank is kind of advancing a little bit, but there is still quite a lot of work to do here in this match. So yeah, E5, like I said earlier, it pretty much has everything. Its armor is pretty good. Its cupola got buffed. I think it was actually like 4 or 5 months ago. Its cupola got buffed, so with standard rounds, you have a 50-50 chance of penetrating it with most other enemy tanks. But if they use gold, then of course you are going to get ripped apart. So you have to be careful with that. It's pretty much the same playstyle as the Renegade and the AE Phase 1. I like the Renegade and I like the E5, but for whatever reason, the AE for me is just, I don't know, it's just a little bit too dependable on allies and just having flanks covered because of how wide and of how long the turret is. And also, something too with the AE is if you use enough gun depression, your under cheeks on your turret actually become weaker, and that makes it easier to penetrate, but which is kind of a big annoyance for me. I just haven't gotten along with my AE like I have my E5 and my Renegade. So yeah, I'm very surprised that I'm not getting rushed right now. I think it's thanks to this IS-7, and I do believe that the 260 and the K91 in the back are also helping me as well. So here I can just go hold down, just expose my lower plate at an angle, that way it makes it difficult for them to penetrate it, and I'm just going to keep farming these guys. So we're up to almost 4,500 damage right now, yeah, Beach is kind of being pushed right now. East flank is kind of winning right now. They've pretty much taken the dip there, and yeah, we're just going to keep farming. So yeah, unfortunate bounce there on the IS-32, but you know, I guess it hit his upper plate, so it's fine. I mean, the accuracy on this tank, I believe mine's .32. I'll have to double check, but I think it's around there. So yeah, it's fine. I like it. Like I said, the E5, I don't regret grinding it at all. M103, stock M103 was probably the worst part about it, if you ask me, because its turret is weaker than a lot of tier 8s when it's, you know, at least the stock turret is on the M103, so it's really annoying to play. So that I just decided to, that I just freed XP'd it, and I was able to get this tank pretty easily. So yeah, the T32 I kind of like. It was actually my first 3-mark. I 3-marked that before I 3-marked the IS-22, and I did end up 3-marking the IS-22, but I'll have to make that'll be probably the next video I make here, even though that is probably older than these two replays that you are viewing here. So now we're up to 5,500 damage. I'm just going to try to deal with this 430U. Unfortunately, my aiming and accuracy are kind of bad. It kind of was my fault for missing those cupola shots, but again, the accuracy on this isn't perfect. But it is still, for the most part, reliable. So I'm quite surprised that the Beach didn't push, at least the enemies, I mean, because they could have easily, if they focused the 215B, which they should have done because he was more dangerous, he has the DPM, they could have easily won Beach and maybe even gone after Cap and put pressure on our Cap, but that, unfortunately for them, that's not going to work out. Again, unfortunate miss by me, but like I said, at this point, I just looked about 4,000 damage. I realized how much damage I actually did, and I was like, oh crap, I need to try hard even more now. I need to, you know, I want to get more damage. So IS-32 shows us the side, and we do end up putting a round into him and finishing him off for our second kill. And a very unfortunate miss there on the IS-7. I believe that actually hit the barrel of the other enemy tank. 430U shows us the side of his turret. We're able to repay him. So now we're up to 6.4k damage, and yeah, this, like I said, we pretty much won this match about 4 minutes ago, roughly. Maybe yeah, about 3 or 4 minutes ago, because we pretty much had the entire map. So I am going to try to push this guy out of my way a little bit, but that's because I was being greedy. We do end up getting the tracking for that. This was my mistake too. I went a little too far, and I do misfire. Like I said, I was being greedy, and my heart was racing. I'm like, crap, damage, you know? I'm sure we've all been there. So anyway, just this mouse left, and we are going to put a couple more rounds into him before we win the match. And I could have actually completed this heavy tank mission, but I wasn't worried about it because I already did complete it. I just didn't complete it with honors. So we are going to get him for our last shot and our last kill. And our ally there just dives off completely and dies. So not a bad match at all. I'm happy the way that went. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed watching. And hey, I'll catch you all later.